Hi folks, and welcome back to Churn Lane. In this episode we're going to take a look at using teddy bear fur for making realistic looking grass. So before touching the layout, I wanted to try and see what this would look like, so I purchased a trial pack from CM3 Models, which contains just enough product just to have a go. Using some acrylic based paints, we're now going to apply this by dry brushing into the teddy bear fur. So here we go, we have the finished example, all layers dried. Really quite pleased with this, so I'm going to go and buy some more of this just now. So a couple of days later, the A1 size piece has arrived from CM3 Models. We're simply going to build up the layers as we did on the last piece, and then we're going to look at putting this down onto the layout. So I'm going to give you the flyover over the layout here. You can see the scatter, how that looks. I don't want to pay for the expense of a scatter applicator where I'm going to use it once. So the teddy bear fur should hopefully be a great way of giving you the 3D grass effect. So I'm going to start off at the smallest possible section, which is this little triangle here between the sidings, just to see what it looks like and just to see how well this stuff actually lays. So I've cut a small piece to size here, just going to see how well this actually flexes because it is slightly raised, this section. Make sure it looks okay, and then we'll go and start to glue this down. So we're stuck down. Overall, I think you can see it's quite a good effect. This looks quite nice, and we're going to progress with the rest of the layout now. So I'm going to move on to this next triangle here. We'll remove all of the trees and then begin laying. You can see the profile effect. It's really quite raised compared to how the scatter looks, so looking good. So finishing off the section, the screws are just to mark where the tree holes are, but overall this has actually gone on really well, and we'll be moving on to the back of the station next. I think the hardest part is actually having to take off everything that you've already done, but I'm sure the result will be fine. Here's the allotment then going onto the board that I made in part 1 of the Scenic upgrades. That's now installed onto the layout. This part's a bit trickier because of the size of the sheet and the contours of the hills, so a bit of time and patience to get this part completed. Just making sure that this is going to cut right up to the back of the platform here, and we can hide any joins with some shrubs. So all the grass has been laid, and now I've actually refitted all of the ground foliage, the trees, the telegraph poles and so on. There's been a bit more trimming down of the grass just to make it look right in some of the areas, and a little bit of dry brushing just to shade it a little bit better here and there after you've trimmed. But as you can see here, the definition difference between the teddy bear fur and what was previously on with the scatter is night and day. It looks really appealing, I think, really realistic. I'm really quite happy with how this has turned out. For me, it's very visually satisfying to actually sit and work the layout when there's this much level of detail on here. So my advice would be to anyone is, if you're not sure, you have the option of being able to buy the trial pack from CM3 Models, experiment with it, see what works for you before you venture on to applying it fully to the layout. I wish I'd done this at the start. It would have saved me a lot of work in actually having to remove everything to do it again, but I'm really pleased that I have done, and I'm sure it's going to get some good feedback at exhibitions. As always, take your time, do what you feel right for you, and hope you've enjoyed watching. Look forward to seeing you at your exhibitions.